A fan of this song on Reddit said, "Those opening lines, 'There are places I remember all my life, though some have changed,' really take you back to your childhood." And I would completely agree. This is a special tune, and I've played it at weddings, anniversaries, private events, all over. And it always seems to hit a great emotional note with the crowd. So today I want to break it down for you step by step in this In My Life guitar lesson. Let's get straight into it. So the song is in the key of A, and it's going to start out with this intro riff that goes between an A chord and an E7. Here's what it sounds like. So we have this A to an E chord, and the shapes that I'm playing here is a one finger A with the index down here in second position, just from the fifth string down, open, 2, 2, 2. Then I reach up with my pinky and grab the fifth fret on the first string. Now I'm actually pinching the fifth string and the second string there for the downbeat, and then I play that fifth fret on the first string on beat 2. So 1 and 2 and then I do a hammer from 2 to 3 on the second string, then play open first string, and then the fourth fret on the first string. So that little hammer melody there is. And I'm using my pinky on that final fourth fret there because I'm gonna go to this chord next. So, and that melody sort of tees up the next chord like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Then I play the low E bass note, and then the E7 is from the fourth string down. 2, 4, 3, 4. And I just strum that like this. So bass note 1, then 2, 3, and 4. That's down, down, up, down. Now I'm actually muting the fifth string, so if I wanted to, I could strum all 6 strings. But that's an advanced move there. You can just play from the top 4 strings down to make it a little easier if you want. So bass note, then 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so all together, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Then it goes again, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now if that's too difficult, you could just play the melody as well. And if you had another guitar player just strumming the chords, that would work as well. Or put them together like this. So that's the opening figure, and that's actually going to come back throughout the tune. Now what it's using there is notes from the A major scale. And if you haven't worked out your scales yet up and down the neck, I want to give you something that's really going to help you out. And what it is my fretboard guide. And on it I show you the 5 must-know scales and chords that go with those scales. So it's a system that I use to map out the neck. And I put it all on just one page. It's a one-page PDF. You can get it completely for free. Just go to johnmclennan.com/fretboard guide, or you can click the first link down below. And that's going to tie right in with what we're talking about in this song. So hope you enjoy that. Now after the intro, we go to what I call the A section, or you could call it the verse. And it's a 4-bar chord progression that's going to be repeated twice. Here's what it sounds like. So let's talk about the chords. Here I'm just going to the A. I'm not doing the long A chord like this. I'm just using my index finger. And then we're going to bring in some new chords. We're going to play an E, and that uses all 6 strings like this. Open, 2, 2, 1, open, open. And then F sharp minor, which is a bar chord on the 2nd fret. 2, 4, 4, 2, 2, 2. And then we'll go to an A7, but we're going to put a G in the bass. Now with this chord, we have what's called a slash chord. And that's where you don't have the traditional root note of the chord in the bass. What probably happened is, John Lennon probably strummed A7, and then Paul played G on the bass. But what I like to do is incorporate them both if I'm playing this just on one guitar. So I'm playing the 3rd fret of the low E, then I mute the 5th string, then 2, open, 2, open. That's A7 with a G in the bass. Then we go to D, which is from the 4th string down, open, 2, 3, 2, and then we make it minor. So that just changes one note. Change the note F sharp on the top to the note F, and you get open, 2, 3, 1, D minor, and then back to A. Now for the first 3 bars, you have 2 chords in each bar. So it's A, E in the first bar, then F sharp minor, A7 over G in the second bar, then in the 3rd bar, D to D minor, and then the final bar, the 4th bar, that just has 1 chord in it, A. And then that whole thing repeats. Now for a strumming pattern, I'm going to use 1, 2, and 1, 2, and. That's the main pattern. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. That's just down, 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 down. Now, when I get to this chord, F sharp minor to A7 over G, I syncopate that second chord. I go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So that's just a down strum on F sharp minor, 1 and 2, and then a down on A7 over G on the and of 2, like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3. Here it is again. So that's the A section, and as I mentioned, this song is in the key of A. And that first part there, a lot of these chords are right in the key. A, E, F sharp minor. That one's not, but D is. And then we have this D minor, which is a beautiful sound. It's a minor 4 chord going back to the A. The Beatles use that all the time, and if you're a songwriter, a singer-songwriter, that's a really good chord progression to know. Just this D, D minor, A. Then we go to the B section. Now when we go to the B section, we go to the F sharp minor chord, and this just gets a breath of fresh air. It sounds very different from the first part. Here's what that sounds like. Okay, so that's the first 4 bars. It's going to be an 8-bar chord progression. Each chord is going to last 1 bar in the B section. We'll start on F sharp, then we'll go to D from the 4th string down, open 2, 3, 2. Then G, that's a new chord. 3, 2, open, open, 3, 3, and then back to A. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, 3 to G, A. Okay, then we've got one more new chord, F sharp minor, again, 3, and then here's the new chord, B7. That's from the 5th string down, 2, 1, 2, open, 2. Then we play D minor back to A, that singer-songwriter chord progression, or in classical music, they actually call it a plagal cadence, going from the 4 to the 1. Here we go. D minor, back to A. Now for the strumming, I'll keep the same strumming pattern, that main strumming pattern, the 1, 2, and 3, 4, and down, down, down. That's the pattern. Then we go back to the verse. So remember I said that intro part is going to come back. Well, it ties in right there at the end of the B section. Then we go back, everything goes again. Now, There's a part that happens later in the song, and it's the piano solo. Now, this has a really interesting story to it. It was played by George Martin, and apparently John Lennon had given him some direction. He said, I'm looking for a Baroque kind of vibe to this instrumental section. And so George Martin came up with this really cool piano part, but there was a problem. And it was that he couldn't actually play the part that he'd written fast enough in the song. So he kind of slowed it down and thought, oh, this would be beautiful. But then when he went to play it, it was like way too fast. And so what he did, he had this genius idea of playing the song at half speed. So he played the tape machine at half speed and basically recorded it in. And then he flipped the tape machine back to the normal speed. And what it did is it sped up his solo, and it also just raised the pitch. So he ended up recording it on a piano, but it ended up sounding almost like a harpsichord, which I think completely nailed the Baroque vibe that John Lennon was looking for. And if you're watching this video only on YouTube, what are you doing? You're missing out. I've got so much more information on this stuff on my site, and I've linked up a video. If you're watching this on my blog, then you'll also see a video below where you can hear the original piano solo slowed down. So it's like what it was like the way George Martin actually played it. But the guitar part is really just back to that A section. So it's like, and you just go through the same progression. Now, when we end, there's one more part you need to know. And this is what I love about the Beatles is like you have all these sections, and then there's a final little part at the end that's different. And what we do is we go back. Remember I said this comes back. You play this. We do it once, and John Lennon sings. We have this D minor chord. Remember that D minor chord going back to the A. So we hit the D minor, we hold it, and John Lennon sings, in my life, way up high, I love you. Then you go back to the intro, and you go. I love that part. It's a little like almost classical sounding ending. So you play the riff the same way, get to the E7, and then what you do is play this little melody, G sharp, F sharp, G sharp. So that's on the first string, 4, 2, 4, and then end on that long A chord. So that's how to play In My Life. You've got the progressions, the riffs, and even a crazy backstory about how George Martin recorded the piano solo. So take your time with this one, practice each part, and then string them together as you feel comfortable. And to help you learn more about the fretboard and be able to put progressions like this together much easier, be sure to grab my free fretboard guide at the first link down below, or just go to johnmclennan.com/fretboard guide to download that as my gift to you. As always, thanks for watching, and for more Beatles, check out this video next.